players on both of the teams. And Janko, basically, he's coming up first. He told me that he put a lot of the work into the lineup this week.
Okay.
It was him that was behind the Quest Priest. It was him that was behind pretty much everything.
So it's him that I've personally offended?
Yes.
Right, okay.
That's pretty much where I'm going with that, yeah. But yeah, a lot of the strength of the team is going behind Django. He has had some amazing results on the ladder recently. He's really been the sort of shining star of Team Bulgaria.
Okay.
And it's kind of him that wants to win this the most, I think. As the rest of the team, you know, they're not full-time Hearthstone. They're not quite as invested into the scene as he is.
I think that's perhaps the story with a lot of the... I'm searching for a less patronizing term than lesser nations, but I can't really come up with one right now, so I'm just going to go with it. I mean, no offense by it, but, you know, there are some Hearthstone powerhouse countries in this tournament, and then there are some countries where you really would struggle to attach a name to that flag if it wasn't for HGG, right? Like, this is the service that's really giving those people a route to even flirt with the idea of full-time Hearthstone. And I think if you're a part-time professional Hearthstone player, HGG is a great tool to try and, you know, give yourself a little taste of just what it's like to be preparing on a kind of full-time schedule every week where you can.
On the other side of things, though, Team Italy, Paul 8 was telling me that both him and Meliador play Hearthstone for a living. Turner, well, we don't need to talk about Turner. Turner has been making the rounds. You've already told us how good Turner is, and Skak is the anchor. So that's some pretty good accolades for all four players there.
So time has passed, Warlocks have tapped, Quest Priests have done nothing, and yes, it's turn 3. It's time to play an 8-8, and this is what the Even Lock needs to be doing in this matchup. They need to get it done quickly or not at all. They are not going to be able to push through the late game here. The Gul'dan refill is not going to be good enough most of the time. They need to really play the aggro, and Mountain Giant is, of course, their best card to do that, and they have a fantastic hand to support Mountain Giant. They have a second one, and then they have Refresh as well. So if Bulgaria were to get into a position where they're trying to set up like a 2-turn kill, like trade, Dustbreaker you next turn kind of thing, Shroom Brewer just comes down and makes an absolute mess of that plan.
Right, exactly. There's a pretty major time limit, as you were saying, for Italy to win this game. And they've got the tools they need with Twilight Drake picked up as well. That's 3 of the power tools, plus the heals. As you said, this is an aggressive start, and Bulgaria don't have any way of preventing it at the moment.
They don't. Speaking of good starts, as you saw Switzerland there going up to a 2-0 lead now, so they're on the way to another 3-0 sweep. It does just seem to be the theme of the day. But yeah, you also saw a little cute interaction on the previous turn that's worth talking about as Django hero-powered Turner's face, healing up for 2, because again, Quest Priest is a deck that is not interested in winning the game. They only care about not losing the game. So healing your even Warlock opponent just makes it less likely that they can generate huge threats turn after turn. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see just about every hero power going in that direction until Bulgaria start to realize that there are potentially 2 8-8s on the board that are smacking them in the face repeatedly.
I could feel your contempt for this deck as you told us all of that. Like, you just feel it oozing off of you.
Good. That was the intention. I'm glad it's working as intended.
Are you looking forward to the expansion? Pinatas and more Death Valley tools?
I mean, 2 different questions. Am I looking forward to the expansion? Yes, very much so. Am I looking forward for the tools that Quest Priest can take advantage of? Not so much.
Shadow Reaper Anduin there picked up by Bulgaria. Going to be a few turns too late as these Giants are already going to have done their damage by then. But do you think that's a card that Bulgaria can afford to drop on turn 8? Or do they need to keep hold of their hero power?
It's a good question. I think Shadow Reaper Anduin primarily will be a removal tool in this matchup. Like, you'll try and Anduin a big threat. The Giants, of course, are already gone, which is another huge reason why it's best to have them as early as possible for Italy. Obviously, surface level, playing 2 8-8s as quickly as you can is good. Then it is very much so. But then the next level is to say, well, then you're not drawing them later when you have to drop them into a potential Shadow Reaper Anduin. And then you're limited to, like, again, Greymanes, your Dread Infernals. Those are the things that Anduin are going to be able to snipe out.
So essentially, Italy have had the best possible start that they could get in this matchup.
Yes, I think so. Because again, like, it looks like a 2-turn setup here with Dustbreaker and Spirit Lash is something that's very, very possible here for Bulgaria. But now the Shroom Brewers, as we mentioned, can start to make a big old mess of that. How would you like to take 16 more this turn, Quest Priest?
Not very much. Answering for the Quest Priest here.
Well, tough. You don't actually have a choice.
Yeah. Italy do have other options though, like Shroom Brewer, as you said, just to heal up the Mountain Giant is obviously worth considering, but even just playing a Spellstone to get rid of the 3/3 and continue putting all of this damage into the face, I mean, I guess that means they don't put an extra 4/4 on the board though.
Yep. That would be my counter argument. I think you could talk about a Twilight Drake instead if, say, Shroom Brewer was a 4/3, because then you could think about second Dustbreaker, but again, because it's a 4/4, it just seems like perfect world.
Yeah.
Smack him for 16. Deal with this, Anduin.
Really trying to find the outs for Bulgaria here. Shadow Visions can't get a Psychic Scream that's playable this turn,
no.
So looks like it's about it, and I'm not complaining as a big supporter of Team Italy, I have to say.
Blood Mage Spirit Lash, though, off the Twilight Score is a big heal. Takes them back up to 16, and now there's 12 on board, so they are theoretically alive, but with no Psychic Scream in hand, they're still going to have trouble killing this on the following turn.
Well, that's the issue, though. It's still 12 damage. They're still going down to 4 this turn.
And there's still another Shroom Brewer.
And Shadowy Prander and still 1 turn away as well, so everything got wrong. Argent
the boy!
Okay.
1 card too deep.
1 mana too expensive.
Twilight Drake, huh? Interesting. Psychic Scream's the only thing you're scared of. Psychic Screams are relevant because they're at 4, and then you just kill them next turn with Argent Commander. Yep, take it all back. This is fine.
Shadowy Prander and just... Well, I was going to say one mana too expensive, but it's not. Even Shadowy Prander wouldn't be enough to prevent this damage.
Correct. There's the Spirit Lash again. Blood Mage is coming back.
2 Blood Mages are coming back, aren't they? So that's going to be... Oh, no. Yeah.
Yep. It's not Spellstone. You can get duplicate copies.
3 per minion a hit. That's 15 health back. Suddenly, go out of range again.
So now there is 12, 16 pushable this turn.
Lethal.
Shadow Reaper Anduin comes down. They're back up to 8. There's 2 4/4s on the board.
Right.
They're still in trouble.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Primordial Drake is worth looking at, though. That's something that you can consider playing around in Italy's shoes.
So is that the reason you think that they're not just dropping Argent Commander and pushing as much as they can to the face?
Yeah, I think the Shroom Brewer here is a better setup against Primordial Drake. Now with the life tap, they can drop Homunculus instead, so this is 6 damage front-loaded. So now in the world of Anduin, they are, they're down to 7, they're back up to 12, and then they maintain 10 damage in play with the Argent Commander in hand. So yeah, this is better against the Primordial Drake. They're still good against the Shadow Reaper Anduin. You got any more Blood Mages up your sleeve, Django?
3rd Twilight's cool, 3rd Spirit Lash, and I'd say that's somewhat unlikely.
But possible when playing Priest.
Not after the cards that have been played so far this game. There's no more crazy generation that we've seen. The quest, obviously, is still not complete. No Amara coming down to heal Django for 40. There is nothing going on in Django's favour, so he goes ahead, he plays the Anduin, but that's going to be it. Not quite dead on board, so going to await his fate, but even the Hellfire would have done the job.
To Northrend indeed. Quest Priest, please go to Northrend and never return, as far as I'm concerned. You can see, though, like, why that is a frustrating deck to play to